Well, the long-awaited Zynga IPO takes place after the closing bell today. And joining me now to talk about the game maker and the IPO market is the co-founder of venture capital firm DCM, Dixon Dahl. Dixon, always great to see you.
Good morning, Betty.
So is Zynga worth participating in?
I think one has to do their homework, not surprisingly, and it really ultimately comes down to an investor making a decision about whether you believe that management's going to be able to execute flawlessly once it becomes a public company. There are quite a few issues that you need to look at as well. They've got this customer concentration, the game concentration from the 3 or 4 games that constitute a very, very disproportionately large amount of their revenue. Games are a hits business, and you have to decide and hope that they're going to continue to be able to develop the hits at the rate that they've done. There's also the Facebook dependency, which is both a blessing and a curse. When the revenue sharing agreement comes up for reconsideration in 2015, they need to expand to other platforms like mobile, and they need to figure out how to expand internationally and do some things like some of the DCM portfolio companies, Happy Elements and Papaya, have been doing to become more open.
So does that mean that this stock could be more volatile than others in the tech area?
I think it will be volatile. It's pretty unusual. The IPO market has generally been closed, and it's been trying desperately to get open, and Zynga looks like it's going to successfully pound the door open and get out, and we'll have to see. It'll come again back to what I said at the beginning. Can they execute flawlessly? Public markets are very unforgiving for any screw-ups once the company's publicly traded.
Now, how does this tee up other IPOs coming up?
I think it's a good precedent. As we approach the end of the year here, we can summarize the IPO situation for venture capital as having a great first half and a lousy second half. The window's basically been shut for most of the second half here because of all the macro factors that we know well about. And the way the market always comes back is with a couple of these star companies, squeezing their way through the crack and getting out and hopefully performing pretty well.
And Dixon in particular, though, for the Chinese IPOs that I'm sure a lot of Chinese companies want to come here and list, is it going to tee them up for the first half of next year?
I'm certainly hoping so, and I'm actually cautiously optimistic about that. At DCM the other day, we were honored to be visited by the chairman of JP Morgan's China Capital Markets. I think you had her on the show somewhere here, Jing Ulrich, and she forecasted that we're near the bottom of the Chinese tightening cycle, and correctly, 2 weeks later, the government began an easing program. So the vectors are headed in the right direction for a better year on Chinese IPOs next year.
Okay, all right. I think that would make you a very happy man, Dixon, being that you've invested in a lot of these Chinese companies. Okay, Dixon, great to see you again. Dixon Dahl of DCM.